So sass. Hi, my special ones. Today, I want to talk about female periods. I personally like to call it seeing my reds. I just think it's kind of classy. So somebody asked me, I'm like, oh, I'm seeing my reds. You can steal that from me if you want. But anyway, I heard two stories recently that really made me realize I had to do this so sass. The first story was true life story. I went to restock because, of course, we've been in quarantine for a minute. And there was this girl who I was taking pads from the shelf, and she walked past me, and then she stood like at a distance, and she waited for me to walk away before coming and taking sanitary pads. And I realized that she was embarrassed to be seen buying pads, so she wanted to make sure the aisle was empty before grabbing hers. The second story that I heard that just really made me crazy was a girl was telling me how she went to see her boyfriend and she was seeing her ex, and she woke up in the morning, she spent the night, she woke up in the morning and she had stained the bed sheet, and she told me how he got angry and she was apologizing and begging him. And then the third story, funny enough, is one day I remember going for a meeting, and this woman stood up and she was stained, and she was so embarrassed, and she was telling the people, I'm sorry, forgive me. And that's when I realized that's slightly ridiculous. Seeing your period for a woman is a sign that you're healthy and you're fertile. And it's frankly one of those things that there's nothing you can do about it. It's biological. God deemed it fit that that's how we get pregnant. So I don't see why we're embarrassed about it, or you stain somewhere and you're apologizing for it, Like, I get it that even other biological things like coughing, you cough, you're like, excuse me, pardon me. But I think that should be it. You're stained in public, you're like, oh, excuse me. Not, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? It almost sounds like you did something wrong. And it's just the way, the attitude women have to it, because like in this case of the woman who got stained in the meeting, there was another woman there who was telling her, at your age, you don't know how to wear pad, and was just trying to like shame her. So I wonder why we allow ourselves to be period shamed, because frankly, one thing I know, or I'm assuming, is that if it was men who saw their period, they would make it something cool. They would make it almost like a bragging right. Like, if they get stained, they'll be like, yo, dude, I got the red Z's, or you know what I mean? They would, because it's something that there's nothing they can do about it, they'll make it something cool. It's kind of like a guy walking around with a bulge, and you tell him, and you maybe you point to him like, oops, not a zipper down, just like a bulge, like he's hard. He's not gonna be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Instead, he's gonna be like, yeah, you like what you see, or you know how men are. So I think we need to unlearn that, and I think part of it is also our upbringing. Because I remember being a younger younger girl, and my cousin was going to the neighboring market, and I gave him money and said, please buy me pad. And I recall my mom was like, why are you sending Obina to go and buy pad for you? It was almost like, how can I tell a man, it's a woman thing, we should keep between ourselves. And of course, I'm not saying my mom did anything wrong. I'm sure that's how she was raised. God bless her soul, because she passed away when I was 19. Anyway, my point is, I think we should raise our daughters, and we older women should just unlearn that. If it happens, it happens. Shit happens, like they say, and it's not really something that we can do anything about. I'm not saying you shouldn't take precautions and pad up, or put in the tampon properly. But if it spills, it spills. You know what I mean? Like for me, I remember one day I got stained somewhere, and the guys were like, oh, you're stained, he ran with like a scarf to cover me up, and I'm like, thank you. I was like, thanks, but I'm like, why are you making it so alarming? Like nobody is dead. And I just got up, and with the stain, I walked from upstairs, I walked down and got into my car, where I had because I knew I was seeing my red, so I had I always have a spare outfit anyway, it comes with the job. So when I got my spare outfit, and I walked back into the building and used the bathroom, freshened up, and I changed, but I did all that with my head up. Years ago, I would have subscribed to the fact that when the guy came with the scarf, I would grab the scarf and be like, oh my God, but I'm done with that. You know what I mean? I'm proud of it. It means I'm fertile. It means I'm healthy. It means I'm functioning. And like I said, if leakages happen. Just a quick says I thought to share with you all. And I just feel like, let's take pride in who we are. We're women. There's nothing you can do about it. Let's stop shaming ourselves, or let's stop accepting it when men try to shame us with it. I give example of the penis bulge. I mean, that if a woman walks around with her nipples out, there's a way to be like, oh, look at your nipples out, but a guy does that, it's kind of okay. So I think it's left for we women to redefine the narrative and, remove the shame from, because there's nothing to be ashamed of, and frankly it's something to be proud of. It's our red flag. So yeah, that's my so says. Nice, easy and short today. Always remember to practice your empathy, and empathy means what you don't want someone to do to you, don't do it to another person. Practice your empathy so much that it becomes part of you. I always use the word practice because it's something that you have to consciously put your mind on and work on, and you get better on it. And empathy also means that when you approach situations and people, you approach them with an open mind, understanding, and compassion. Thank you so much, my special ones, for always watching. And remember that I love you.